What do you mean? Having a companion in general? Or being around you, specifically? I mean, it's not bad. I don't take too much time to think about it directly. I lived by myself for a long time after I left my tribe, so I didn't learn any social skills. Plus, I didn't have to watch out for anyone else. It was necessary. After I left, I needed time to think about myself and what I was gonna do. It's a good thing you didn't know me 8 or 9 years ago. I was a much different person then, and would probably have just killed you on sight like all the other beasts. I did meet someone at one point, though, so you aren't the only companion I've had before. There was this small Bosmer girl, I recall. She told me her name was Everett. She was a bit like you, in that she was never scared of me like the others. She was actually very interested in talking to me, despite how terrible my mental state was at the time I saw her. I knew her for a couple of years. She was also an outcast among her family, so we bonded a bit over our difficult pasts. Eventually, I said goodbye when I left for Skyrim, and she said she'd be around Cyrodiil. I don't know if I'll ever see her again, but she was very pleasant to talk to. That she was. Not really like most of the other people I've met. She had an odd quirkiness about her. Like she looked at everything in life through a filter that made it look all funny and jovial. It was a little grating sometimes, but she helped me see a more positive side of life after everything that had happened. But I'm rambling. We haven't spoken in a long time. I hope so too. I never really thanked her for being so helpful all that time. I imagine she's still running along the treetops, doing whatever it is the Bosmer do among the woods. Getting up to trouble, no doubt. Anyway, that's all there is to that. Point is, I'm not very used to company, and there's not much more to say. Go ahead. What do you mean? Having a companion in general? Or being around you, specifically? Well, you have yet to show me that you're a truly trustworthy companion. At the very least, you haven't run away screaming yet. It'd be nice if you didn't get in the way sometimes. And you also tend to ask a lot of questions. Questions that I tend to get bored of. Moreover, you still have a lot to learn about me and the world around you. You tend to presume I'm your friend, when we haven't worked together for more than a few months. I never said that. You can be annoying and nosy, but it's better for you to be here. Better for me, at least. After all, you've kept most people from trying to attack me. And you're a better companion when you fight, not when you talk. Don't get the idea that I trust you with my life or anything. I trust you enough not to leave you behind. And you do help me get through tough situations here and there. Don't get cocky, damn it. You want me to throw you through a window? Consider yourself lucky you haven't pissed me off enough yet to squash you into the ground. Open your mouth less, and swing your weapon more, and we'll keep getting along just fine. Go ahead. I do. Why wouldn't I? After all, you've seen me beat enemies up plenty of times by now. It's always a good way to vent my anger and solve problems. Fair enough. Not everyone wants to fight, but I'm of the opinion that everyone should know how to. Skyrim is a violent, bloody place, and ignoring the violence around you is plain foolish. There's no telling when you might have to defend yourself. Not everyone needs to be willing, but everyone should be ready. At least that's what I was taught growing up. No man or woman should be an amateur in physical strength. That's something I was taught early on, and one of the few things I didn't disagree with my family on. I have enough of a mind to understand that politics govern a lot of things. Sometimes force is what's needed to resolve conflict. No one should ever be against using force as an option. And nobody should cower in fear when confronted with force. The best response is to retaliate in kind, and show your enemy that you aren't to be toyed with. Good. I'm glad you see things the same way. It means we won't have problems in the future when the going gets tough.